All right, thank you all very much, and thank you to our wonderful pianist for playing the national anthem in real time for us. This is an important moment for the event. I want to begin by acknowledging that we are on the traditional, ancestral, unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. And I will always say this at every Operation Defend the North, that much before there was code and software, there was care and stewardship. And it is important that as we come together to defend the North, we take lessons from those that have always and continuously stood to defend this earth. My name is Ali Hirji, and I have the honor of being your chair alongside Alex Dow and all of the wonderful advisory members here, not just being a chair, but all of them being a host to all of you today. I want to thank you for taking the time, and I'm going to take the first 2 minutes or so just to set a little bit of the context, and then we'll have about 15 minutes of opening discussions before we move into Module 1. 3 very important statements that I'd like to make at the get-go. Firstly, what you're experiencing today is a simulation. It is not real per se, in that this exact attack has not happened. But, as I said in Calgary on the way to Vancouver, just because it's not real doesn't mean something like this could not happen. The characters, the institutions are all fictitious. Number 2, you're seeing around the table individuals who comprise of 2 sets of people. Firstly, to my right and left, we have our sponsors, Lima Charlie in this case, and TELUS. And our focus with them is going to be getting their industry perspective and expertise. Their products are not infused into this environment, but they will guide us in real time and tell us that had their services been available, here's what could have potentially evaded or protected against the scenario you're seeing. So no pressure. You also see around me are advisors who have put this experience together. These advisors are taking on roles within this fictitious organization. This is not their real day or their daytime superpower. Some of them are sitting in roles that they've probably never played before, but they are trying their level best to provide some perspective. This is a form of education and entertainment. Having a child, we call it edutainment. Treat it for what it is. We have time limits, which means we may not be able to cover every topic, but we will do our level best. And lastly, I will allow and encourage audience participation, but it comes with an urgent request. Firstly, yes, you have mics in front of you, but I ask you not to turn them on until I acknowledge that you can ask your question. And now that I've asked you all to do that, I know everybody's going to press that button. AV team, stay prepared. Your questions will get streamed into the live stream once I ask you to turn on that mic, and there's a button right in the front. To my advisors and industry experts at the seat, the same rule applies. When you are speaking, just press that button that says to speak. When you're done, turn it off. To our online audience, from time to time, you will get polls popping up. You will get different links popping up as well. But everybody else, you can see the proceedings live on the screen above. And if you want, you can tune into live.cyberX.org. You would have to register, and then an OTP code would be sent your way. And with that, I think we're ready to begin. We have about 15 minutes to do some opening comments. Alex, they tell me that Vancouver is proof that a city can breathe, but I think that this scenario is going to take us out of breath for a bit. Your thoughts?
Thanks, Ali, and good morning, everyone. We're back. We're back because we just came from another incident in Calgary that was likely a nation state that took down the Alberta power grid, and we're fresh off that, but yet exhausted from all the stresses that do come from running incidents. So we're very excited about this scenario. Again, as Ali said, it's well researched. It's leveraging various real world scenarios to help increase awareness of this. One of our advisors in Calgary mentioned the cliche that we practice fire drills every year in buildings, and yet I don't remember the last time there was a fire in an office building, yet we do this practice. Yet I think we can remember a cyber attack probably from the morning news this morning, yet companies don't do this type of practice, and that means we're not really building that muscle memory. And the 100-page incident response plan, virtually useless when that happens. So this event I'm really excited about. It's really about increasing awareness of the importance of this and really showing the challenges that when you think you have a plan and it goes sideways. So thank you, Ali, back to you.
Thank you. Shrey, very, very quickly, I know that the scenario today is going to focus in on an attack, a supply chain-like attack. Maybe there's a POS involved as well. In 30 seconds, tell me, most folks think POS system relatively simple, should not be that difficult to figure out what's going on. But I think a lot of complexity is coming into this.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. POS systems, although they are very small, although they are something which we interact with every single day in our day-to-day lifestyle, we tap things, we insert the credit cards, debit cards, etc. And they are, in a way, one of the most vulnerable areas which people can exploit at the moment. It's a very large threat surface, and I think we'll be understanding the depths of it today.
Sounds good, and I know you're saying that it goes beyond just tapping for your $2 coffee, although I'm very curious about where in this economy you found coffee for $2, but that is a separate discussion. I'm going to go first to my left, then to Kevin. Kevin, from a Lima Charlie perspective, you've heard very quickly that this is going to be about an attack on a POS system. Any immediate thoughts that come to your mind?
Yeah, so I'm Ken Weston with Lima Charlie. Yeah, so I think one thing I'm going to want to know is what visibility do we have? Do we have access to the logs? That's going to be the first question of any sort of incident. Show me the logs. I always like to reference Locard's exchange principle. Every contact leaves a trace. So whenever there's any sort of interaction with the system or physical, there's always going to be some sort of evidence that's left behind, and it's going to be our job to find it.
Sounds good, Kevin. I'm looking forward to hearing more. And also, I will advise our audience that I believe from 2 to 4 p.m., the team from Lima Charlie is also doing a workshop on the 4th floor. I think a purple teaming workshop. Is that right?
Yeah, we're going to be running some attack simulations against Okta infrastructure. So if you're interested in a little bit of offensive security plus how to defend yourself against it, we're going to be doing that from 2 to 4.
Fantastic. Thank you. Mark, welcome, and thank you as well from TELUS for your support. Mark, from your perspective, do you know what you've walked into?
I do not, but that's the whole point, right? That's why we're here, to simulate and think about it. So if I build off of the idea of, okay, we just talked about tools, I'm going to just put on the table that we got to think about the teams that are involved, and we don't know what we don't know until we get into this, and to keep the ideas open. It could be anything, and going back to the preparation phase in terms of how we even got here. We've practiced bad days already, so let's keep our heads and think through carefully what's going to come about.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to getting the TELUS perspective as we jump into this. I'll take about 7 to 8 more minutes to get a little bit of more commentary from folks around the table. I may not get to everybody, but we'll then jump into module 1, so about 7 to maybe 10 minutes. Hardeep, I want to come to you because you're playing a role that you are familiar with, a cyber advisor role. But it's not always the same. You do have experience in security, obviously lots of it, but you're walking into a role that's going to test you in different ways. What's the one test that you're looking forward to today?
Thank you, everybody. I think the biggest piece is, a lot of times, I know this is a cyber incident and we're assuming a cyber incident. I think the biggest piece that, first of all, we need to kind of take a step back and really look at, is it really a cyber incident, right? So that's the, and then the other aspect of it is what, from a preparation perspective, as you would recommend it, like, is there a business continuity plan? Is there like a crisis communication plan? I think those are the key focus points that I feel like in the preparation phase, as cyber experts, we forget about. We focus on more of the technical aspects, but how can we actually work with our business teams to actually prepare them, whether it's just a regular technical incident or a cyber incident?
Sounds good. I hear Vancouver runs on rain, creativity, and coffee. And all of you would have seen that, even at the very last moment, we had notes coming to us as well. These are all by design. All of these situations are not scripted per se. We have a team that's putting together all of the TTPs around this, and things are thrown at us at real time. To be brutally honest with you, some of the things that I'm seeing right now, I'm actually seeing for the first time as well. So to our audience, you will see from time to time, for example, the screen might shift to something else, or you might see somebody walk in and give me a cue card, and that could actually be something that has to be injected in real time. I want to add for everybody that's watching here as well as online, nobody at this table, perhaps to an extent besides me, Alex, and the siberX, the wider team, they haven't seen all of the details yet. So they're engaging with this for the first time in real time. Rob, speaking about rain, coffee, and creativity, you're back for a second round of Operation Defend the North. Clearly, you seem to have survived the first one. I believe the role that you're playing is the role of a CISO. I'm totally expecting that this role will not give you any PTSD. What are you expecting from this role?
Hey, good morning, Alec. Good morning, everybody. So I feel much better this time around than last time when I role-played the legal team. I was out of my depth by far. Today will be an interesting learning experience. The reality is I don't think Alex harpooned us when he said that your plan goes right out the window. I don't believe that. I hope we stick to that plan in some ways, but I certainly don't think it ever follows kind of page by page what you planned from the get-go. And so I'm back again because last time it was just a fantastic experience, kind of going around and hearing the thoughts in real time. So yeah, it's a great day.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Melina. I'm going to come to you. And again, thank you, everyone, for following the rules and unmuting and muting. Melina, you're playing the role of a cyber legal and compliance officer. And sometimes folks might think that in Module 1, it might be too early to have you at the table because we haven't yet declared an incident. Your thoughts on that?
I think it's, and we see it a lot in incidents that we deal with, getting the parties involved that are not only just technical is going to be the important part to it, because there's a lot of considerations that have to be made prior to the actions being taken. So in the case of technical teams, it's going to be the first instinct to act fast, to contain, but there may be some considerations we have to take when it comes to some of the other considerations, communications, legal, compliance, regulatory obligations that we're going to have to meet, some of the forensics that will have to be done. So getting legal involved very early on also allows them to prepare for what's going to be coming next and to look for those eventualities that maybe have to be met.
Thank you, Melina. I appreciate it. I'll take two more, actually perhaps three more very quick comments from the table. I'll pick a name at random. Let's see. Rob, I'm going to come to you. Thank you for taking the time to be here. I believe this is your first experience of Operation Defend the North. As we go into the first module around detection and analysis, what's one rule of thumb that you would say should be our guiding principle when going into this module?
Thanks. Good morning, everyone. I guess based on experience, one of the most important things is not jumping to conclusions. So a lot of times, you get signals, you get information, and then I've seen teams go down paths that take us really the wrong way. Yeah. So getting the right data, using it as evidence, and processing it, and making sure that you have consensus around the team, I think will be the most important thing.
Sounds good. And I think time, given that Module 1 is about 60 to 65 odd minutes, is something that we will be in short currency of, but we will try our best to give everyone sufficient time to walk through what you're seeing in real time. I'll take two more thoughts at the table. Vivek, you know what? I think I have to come to you because you're playing the role of a cyber advisor. I have protected myself from the wrath of the advisory board with this camera in front of me, but Vivek, you were there in Calgary. You've now taken the flight over to Vancouver. What's going to be the board's role in today's activities?
the board is going to be fielding questions as the situation escalates with its shareholders, with the shareholders' auditors, with regulators, and I think there's also an aspect of ensuring, any lingering questions the board had about the company or its plans or C-suite, those get clicked on early to ensure the right support is there, both financially and from a management perspective, and just to trigger a good cadence of flow of updates and communications from the team.
Sounds good, Vivek. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to figuring out if all the key executives are actually in town when this incident happens, because as often happens, they're out vacationing somewhere, and we'll have to see where that goes. But thank you, Vivek, for all of your support and guidance. I'm going to go last with, to your right, Vivek Dragna. I'm going to ask you, you're playing the role of a retail cybersecurity advisor. What's your role all about? Because I certainly don't know.
Neither do I. We'll find out.
Perfect answer. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. So yeah, my first time here. I'm excited. Retail cybersecurity advisor. I think what I'm going to try to do today is balance the needs of the store operations, our store staff, our customers that are waiting in those long lineups because we can't sell to them, and what's happening around this table and this technical side of things. So pull on my experience on the retail side and know that we need to sell. We want to sell, have our CEO screaming at us, telling us that we need to reopen our stores as soon as possible, but knowing that if we do that, we might hit ourselves. We might get into some more trouble. So
sounds good. And
yes, the role is.
Yep, speaking about the CEO getting angry and nervous, I will tell you that there's a very interesting moment in this exercise where the CEO makes a decision about digital transformation about, 6 months ago? And now that decision is coming to bite us in the backside. So we will see more of that as we go along. I'll take one more comment really, really quickly. Michael, you're playing the role of incident response team lead. Have you stocked up on all of the orders of Red Bull to survive this?
Sorry, all the cans of Red Bull? Yeah, that too. Yeah, so, what we learned last time and what we see all over the place is that the adversary is the one that's trying to get in, but the secondary adversary, as embodied by our very own Alex, is chaos. And I think what we're going to see is preparation is the thing that pushes the needle back against the chaos. I'm excited to see what happens here today.
Sounds good. And yes, you used the word chaos, and I can tell you that Alex is playing the role of the lead chaos engineer. So we'll see which side he's playing on. That will all become determined very, very, very quickly. Well, I hear Vancouver is lifted by its people. You're all going to need to support as we dive into the opening module. But before we begin going into the module, I will very quickly for 30 seconds remind everyone of some housekeeping items. I can assure you that the alarms outside are not by design that are passing us, but it adds to the feel. Very quickly, 30 seconds housekeeping items again. For everyone that's just walked in, I will allow for questions when I mention it. If I notice your hand and I point to you, you can unmute your mic at that time. For those who are online, I have a separate screen where I'm watching the chat. I will make sure to engage with you as best as I can. From time to time, some polls will be released. Please participate whenever you can. And lastly, again, I am repeating this for everyone that is here. The scenario is fictitious. If you are in the room also watching online, please mute your speakers and mics as well. The scenario is fictitious. The players are acting out a role that is not their daytime superpower, but we're certainly going to put them to the test in different ways. With that, I'll look to the team that's managing the audio visuals and tell them, let's step into Module 1.